Chardon, hey, true crime fans. Welcome back to another episode of Chardon, hey, true crime. I'm your host, Dakota. With me, as always, is the lovely Kate.
That's me.
That is her. And tonight, we are going to be discussing the mysterious disappearance of the Sodder children. You heard about this case on BuzzFeed Unsolved. You have heard about this case on the deep, dark depths of the internet. And now you're hearing about it right here from us while we get drunk and talk shit about people who mishandled a case again, because that's what we're doing this week.
Or if you're me, you've never heard of this case and you're going to learn all about it.
Yeah. Kate's never heard of this one.
Nope.
Kate's never heard of a lot of the stuff that we cover, though, to be fair.
That's what I bring to this. Ignorance.
What the fuck, Kate?
I mean, it's not inaccurate.
It's not inaccurate, but just the way you said that. That's what I bring to this. Ignorance.
I said what I said.
Oh my god, I just wasn't expecting that. Hello, I'm Kate, not ignorant.
Hello, I'm Kate, and I don't know shit.
When we're able to do like live shows in person and everything, once that's finally like a capability that we have, that's how we have to introduce you. Hi, I'm Dakota. I've been studying true crime since I was like 12 years old. I've had a deep fascination with, serial killers and cults and everything since I was a child. I read Helter Skelter at way too young of an age. And I took forensic science in high school. I took behavioral psychology. And this is Kate.
I don't know shit.
Yep. That's pretty much it. That is how we're going to introduce ourselves when we start doing live shows.
Yeah, I'll alternate between I'm Kate and I don't know things. I don't know shit. Or I'm Kate. I'm ignorant.
Oh god, you made me wine burp.
Oh god.
Ew. Wine burp.
Yeah. Oh god, we just started.
Oh my god. All right. Well, to be fair, I haven't eaten anything all day. Which I'm probably going to get yelled at about after the show. As I realize as I'm saying this.
Briefly.
Yeah. To be fair, Casey's cooking food right now. So as soon as the show's over, I'm going to eat like a bunch of chicken and vegetables. So I'm still going to get yelled at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get started. Okie dokie. So, this story begins not with the children who disappeared, but the father of the children who disappeared, George Sodder. He was born with the name Giorgio Sodu in Tula, Sardinia, Italy in 1895. He immigrated to the United States 13 years later with an older brother who went back home as soon as both he and George had cleared customs at Ellis Island. So basically, his older brother was just like, I'm just going to drop you off. Okay, I'm going to make sure that you get through and everything, but I'm going to drop you off and then I'm going to go home, okay? Giorgio just, okay? Chicosta?
Giorgio just okie dokie.
So for the rest of his life, George, as he came to be known, would not talk much about why he had left his homeland. Sodder eventually found work on the railroads in Pennsylvania, carrying water and other supplies to workers, and after a few years, he took a more permanent work as a driver in Smithers, West Virginia. After a few more years than that, he started his own trucking company. at first hauling fill dirt to construction sites and later hauling coal that was mined in the region. Jenny Caprini, a storekeeper's daughter in Smithers, who had also immigrated from Italy in her childhood, would soon become George's wife, once he was good and successful. Gotta wait for the success and the money to start rolling in, and then you get all wifed up and ciao, Giorgio. Ciao,
Yeah,
ciao.
exactly. Just Signor Giorgio.
Come stai? The extent of the Italian, I remember. I used to actually speak conversational Italian very well.
I used to know like Italian slang that I could throw around with my family. Every now and then, like my mom would go through periods where she would like hella embrace her Italian side, and like we would just throw out like it wasn't like we were speaking Italian. We would just say Italian words that like fit in with what was happening. Like,
weirdly, when I was living in Hollywood, my roommate and I used to do that. She would say something in German and I would reply in Italian, and then she would say something in French and I would reply in Spanish. It was like a weird thing that like we did for a really long time. But like we knew enough of what the other was saying that we were able to do that. And then after I learned sign language, I was teaching her sign language, and there was like a little chunk of time where like when we would be talking to each other, we would be signing at the same time. And that was nice.
Yeah, my sister and I would do that because when she was, since she's 9 years older than me, when she was in college learning sign language, I was in 9th grade also learning sign language. So we were learning together and driving my mother crazy because we would have conversations about my mother in front of my mother. Fantastic. So fun. But yeah, like with the Italian stuff, like for my whole life, my mom has always like been very she's been very consistent about reminding me that I am gabados and chiacchierone. So I'm stubborn and a chatterbox.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and agree with your mom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it was incorrect, but she's been reminding me of that like my whole life. So like those are like the two big ones that I've always remembered are chiacchierone and gabados.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So, so after she wifed him up, the couple settled outside nearby Fayetteville, which had a large population of Italian immigrants. They lived in a 2-story timber frame house 2 miles north of town. And in 1923, they had the first of their 10 children. Because these people
don't like that.
Italian.
God. Fucking.
That's the most Italian fucking shit I have ever heard.
We get it. You're Catholic.
My grandma always claimed to be Catholic, but she only ever had 3 kids and 2 survived.
Fake fan.
Oh my God. If it makes you feel any better, I've got about 150 cousins back in Massachusetts that I don't fucking know, and a crap ton more in Italy. So I know that I am not allowed to marry anybody from Massachusetts or Sicily. That's it. Off limits. Off fucking limits.
Yeah, I know that, like, for me, it's the German side of my family. So, like, all of, my grandma was the youngest of 15. So,
that's so many.
Yeah, I think at least, like, 4 kids in, great-grandma still didn't know, like, where babies came from. So she didn't know how that worked. But she's just like, oops, I'm pregnant again.
Oops, I wonder how that happened. It was the stork.
But yeah, so I've got about 12,000 cousins in Pennsylvania. And like my mom doesn't have like a super huge family as far as I know. Like I know she has family like in New York and Texas and somewhere else. Probably like Mexico because she was born in Albuquerque. And so it's just
Right.
Family's so big. I don't know, like I know my family that's here and I know my family that's come to like the family reunions barely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you know a couple of your cousins. We don't know that many of them.
Yeah, I know my first cousins and I know like a handful of my second cousins.
Yeah. So anyways, George's business began to prosper, and they became one of the most well-respected middle-class families around, in the words of one local official. However, George had strong opinions about many subjects and was not shy about expressing them, because, you know, he's Italian. Sometimes he would even alienate people, and in particular, his strident opposition to the Italian dictator Benito Mussolini had led to some strong arguments with other members of the immigrant community. And Mussolini was a very, very polarizing topic at the time. And, you know, it's funny because now everybody's like, he's a dictator. And then Mussolini's granddaughter's on Twitter like, no, he's not. You don't know what a dictator is. And it's like, actually, Missy, we do, because your grandfather is the literal example of a fucking dictator.
Yeah, seriously.
I should know that Mussolini's granddaughter, from what I understand, is a Trump supporter. So
weird. Weird.
Right?
Yeah, and like I was literally just thinking, like, you know, it was kind of polarizing back then, and now it's just like he's a dictator, and I can't help but wonder if when we say hindsight is 2020, are we gonna look back on that kind of literally in a few years?
I think her name is Alessandra Mussolini. Like, and she's a politician. So, like, you would think as a politician, you would maybe change your last name.
Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's just me. I personally would be like, oh, hi, my name's Rebecca Hitler. But that's basically what's happening.
I was just so thrown by Rebecca.
What do you want me to say? Hi, I am Gretel Hitler. Like, Hilda Hitler at your service.
Oh, fuck me. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh my god. Hi, Hilda Hitler here.
What?
Hi, Hilda Hitler here.
Hi, Hilda Hitler here. Yeah, so yeah, we are going to make Germany great again.
Oh.
I gotta say though, no, I do actually have to make this point. Germany is fucking worlds ahead of the United States. Like leaps and bounds ahead of where we're at as a community when it comes to fascism, because fascism is actually illegal in Germany. And
literally a crime.
Literally talking about the war and being a Nazi is a fucking crime in Germany. I'm just saying. If you're propagating Nazi bullshit in Germany these days, you go to jail for like 2 to 5 years, from what I understand.
Yeah, and you know, like that just makes me think of like something that that Taika Waititi said about like when he was making Jojo Rabbit. Just like, you know, there used to be a rule: if you were a Nazi, you went to jail, and like we seem to have forgotten that rule.
That's really funny because I literally was like looking at a picture of Taika earlier today. He's just so cute.
He's adorable. He really is. He's just such a soft baby.
I know.
He's significantly older than me, but he's a baby.
I just showed Kate What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, and then we watched the entire TV show. Aside from her love of Matt Berry, which she has suddenly discovered, I'm pretty sure Viago was her favorite vampire in What We Do in the Shadows, the movie.
I think
Viago,
so. Yeah.
Taika's character?
Yeah, probably. It's like the movie isn't fresh in my mind, but I do know that I did love Taika because he was so soft. He was just a big baby.
My favorite, obviously, is Vladislav.
Vladislav. Yeah.
Vladislav is my favorite in the movie. In the show, my favorite is Nandor the Relentless.
God, you are so thirsty for Nandor. It's fantastic.
I really am. I'm not even sorry about it. He had the actor that plays him, Kayvan Novak, has a Cameo account, and literally all I want for my birthday is a fucking cameo from Kayvan as Nandor the Relentless. That's all I fucking want.
Oh my god, that one of him going absolutely fucking crazy, just Janine.
I want to ride my bicycle. But he does that in all of them.
He's just having way too much fun. It's great to see that like they have so much fucking fun with it.
I know, right? No, but I'm literally working on a burlesque routine as Nandor the Relentless, and I hope that somebody films it and then fucking tags him in it so that I know that Nandor the Relentless has seen me strip as Nandor the Relentless.
Matt?
I'm also working on a Jackie Daytona burlesque routine.
I love Jackie Daytona.
This is just how we talk in Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona.
When he crashes the car, oh, that's a shame. That thing costs a fucking fortune.
I never learned how to drive.
So the last of the Sodder children, Sylvia, was born in 1943, but by then their second oldest son, Joe, had left home to serve in the military during World War II. Because, the Sodder family is real against fascism, which, you would think every fucking family in America would be. However, America was pretty fucking okay with fascism when it was happening over there. Like, I think Eddie Izzard puts it best. No, I honestly think Eddie Izzard puts it best when he was talking about like wars and everything. It's just like, yeah, America's fine when other countries are killing their own people. Hitler killed people next door. Stupid man.
Oh God, so right.
With Hitler killing people next door, what they weren't okay with was the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and then they were like, "Well, you brought us into it now, so now we have to." Come on, bro! I thought we were cool. Americans are so fucking ready to suck fascism's dick. It's terrifying.
It really, really is.
Yeah.
My parents were watching something about.
I'm gonna get so much shit for that comment. I know it, but I stand by what I said.
My parents were watching something about Stalin the other day, and
oh god,
and they were just like, they kept like being like, oh yeah, so you see why socialism is fascism, and I was just like, oh.
I'm just, I'm just gonna make a point here really fast. For the past few months, I have been doing just one glass of wine a night when I'm doing these shows. This is a finish the bottle kind of night. Heads up. And when I got ready for tonight, the bottle was here. So I'm just letting you know. This is going to be a finish the bottle kind of night because I feel like we're going to end up talking about Nazis and fascism quite a bit tonight. And it's partially because I haven't eaten today and I have no filter.
Yeah, I will also be finishing my bottle, but I only had about one glass in here, so.
I just am angry and don't give a fuck. We may go a little bit long. I'm going to try not to make it too long, but it's going to happen at this point. I can tell. Anyways. So, the following year, Mussolini was deposed and executed. Alessandra. Just saying. Alessandra.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, Alessandra Mussolini, the politician who is the granddaughter of Mussolini.
I forgot that was her name.
Yeah, Alessandra. I mean, honestly, this lady literally, like, her husband was, like, a child predator, okay? I just want to point that out. Her husband was literally a child predator. He was scheduled to appear in court for a child prostitution trial. A child prostitution trial in 2015, okay? I'm just saying, her husband, the man that she's married to, fucked 13-year-old girls in Rome.
Oh!
Letting you know that now. So, you know, people are like, oh, Alessandra Mussolini knows what she's talking about when she says that Donald Trump isn't a fascist. Bitch, Alessandra Mussolini knows exactly what she's fucking saying, and she knows that Donald Trump is exactly like her fucking grandfather, who was executed for his crimes. Just saying. Anyways, George's criticism of the late dictator had left some with hard feelings in the Italian community at the time, because let's be honest, Italian people, listen, I am an Italian people, but they're pretty ready to be like, oh, fascism? Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, the fucking Nazis hung out in Italy for quite a while, and they were just sort of like,
Yeah, I mean, like, the Nazis were there, and, you know, fucking
Mussolini
was there.
Yeah. And the Italians are just sort of like, Of course, there were Italians who were against it, obviously. Of course. But it's like saying that there are Americans who are against fascism. Saying. But anyway.
She was against fascism.
She was against fascism. Alessandra.
Oh, I was pointing to Carrie Fisher.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was looking at the notes. No, Carrie Fisher is absolutely against fascism, but I mean, Alessandra is against fascism, even though she comes from a fascist family. Just saying.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to get so much shit for these comments, but you know what? I get shit from 12-year-olds on TikTok literally every single day. So I'm pretty immune to getting shit at this point.
You ain't scared of no thing. If you can deal with 12-year-olds.
What?
If you can handle 12-year-olds, you ain't scared of no thing.
Oh, bruh, I fucking, like, some guy commented on my TikTok today, and he was like, I thought this was a guy. And I was like, I thought you were old enough to know better than comment like this. Immediately, he was like, I'm so sorry, and followed me. And then he was, like, commenting, like, over and over, I'm so sorry, like, you're amazing. Like, your content is great. I am so sorry for, like, like that came off totally wrong, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh shit, it's that easy right now.
Mold their minds.
Oh, I've got an army of 22,000 fucking children that are ready to fight for me right now. It's hilarious. I love my 22,000 children. I'm just saying, like, I love all of my 22,000 children.
You're their bearded mom.
Yeah, I'm their bearded mom. Yeah, I was literally texting someone about this recently. I was texting my friend about this, and I was like, I have 22,000 followers. No, it was like back when I had 13,000. I was like, I have 13,000 followers. I don't know what to do. Am I their mom now? Do I tell them to drink water? And she was like, yeah, you're in charge of them now. I was like, fuck. Okay, great. I've got like 1,000 children. I've got like thousands of children now. Okay, great. Hi, I'm your mom now. Drink water. I care about you.
Drink water. Make your bed. Brush your teeth.
I don't really have room to talk. I didn't make my bed today.
Me neither. I was just throwing it out there.
I normally make my bed every single day, but I had the sad hit me like a fucking brick today. So yeah.
Yeah, I like never make my bed. Like I woke up today and I was like, I'm gonna make my bed, and then I was like, or I could not.
I will admit it. I honestly, after the show, I'm probably gonna make my bed because I'm gonna be up for a few more hours to like do other work. I do have some samples to show you for merch, actually. Yeah, we are working on merch, so we're really excited about it. I've been doing a lot of work on Teespring, like designing and stuff, figuring out which merch I want to bring to the table. We're really excited about it, and I'm really excited about it. Kate hasn't seen it yet, but I'm excited about it.
I'm just excited that it's happening.
Yeah, it is happening. It is absolutely happening, and I'm really excited to be doing this. But let's get it back over here. So in October 1945, this is just going to be an episode about us screaming about fascism. Like, honestly, it really is. We're not even through the first fucking page yet. So in October 1945,
a bad time for an episode about like screaming about fascism.
There's really not. There really isn't. And since fascism is so heavy in this episode anyway, like it fits. I should just rename the episode Kate and Dakota Get Drunk and Scream About Fascism.
Kate and Dakota Hate Fascists.
Yeah, that's a good episode. I would watch that. Would you watch that?
I would watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch the fuck out of that.
Well, let's make it first, then we can watch it later.
Anything where fascists get in trouble. I literally watched a video on Facebook of like, it was in Ireland where these people were like walking down the street and some like Irish like nationalists who were fascists. They were like setting up a table and this like group of people just like converged, destroyed the table, ripped up all their pamphlets and were like screaming at them until they like fled. And I was just like, I've never been so horny for Ireland in my life. Like, and I'm part Irish. I have never been that horny for Ireland in my fucking life, but I'm like, well, now I need to go get fucked by a leprechaun because that's what I need now.
Oh, God.
Somebody find me a leprechaun so I can fuck it.
I'm gonna jerk off to the luck of the Irish.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like. No, that's a child. No, I can't. I'm like almost 30. That is a child in that movie. I can't.
I'm not talking about like the character in the movie. I'm just talking about the movie as a whole.
Oh, just like jerk off to the concept of the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Or like the concept of like the luck of the Irish, just like jerk off to a 4-leaf clover.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. So in October 1945, a visiting life insurance salesman, after being rebuffed, warned George that his house would go up in smoke and your children are going to be destroyed, attributing this to the dirty remarks you've made about Mussolini. So this guy's probably Italian. So your house will go up in smoke and your children are going to be destroyed. All this because the dirty remarks you've been making about Mussolini.
I think you went a little Irish there.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm thinking about Irish, so, you know.
You want me to try?
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
Your house, it's gonna go up in the smoke and your children are gonna be destroyed, eh? All this because of the dirty remarks you've been making about the Mussolini, huh?
You know what? I've got a friend in Italy. I gotta text her and be like, "Hey, yo, talk to me about Alessandro Mussolini because I need to fucking know. I need to fucking know." We'll do an episode about Alessandro Mussolini's husband at one point, and then I'll compress the file and then email it to Alessandro Mussolini. These are the kinds of threats that I make when I'm drunk. So another visitor to the house, who had been seeking work, took the occasion to go around the back and warn George that a pair of fuse boxes would cause a fire someday. George was puzzled by the observation since he had just had the house rewired when an electric stove was installed, and the local electric company had said afterwards that it was totally safe. George's older sons had also noticed a strange car parked along the main highway through town, and its occupants watching the younger Sodder children as they returned from school. Now, the Sodder children, or the Sodder family, celebrated Christmas Eve in 1945. Marion, the oldest daughter, had been working at a dime store in downtown Fayetteville, and she surprised three of her younger sisters, Martha, Jenny, and Betty, who were 12, 8, and 5, respectively, with the new toys that she had bought for them there as gifts. Now, the younger children were so excited that they asked their mother if they could stay up past what would have been their usual bedtime. Now, with as many fucking children as there were in that house, 10 children. So one was away at the war, so whatever, he's gone. It's 1945. This guy's probably, with the Allies, liberating Auschwitz and stuff. Good for him. He's a fucking hero. Good for that guy. Yeah, we stand that Sodder child. Unless he turned out to be a horrible person later in life, but just for fighting against fascists, we stand.
Yeah, exactly. That one part of his life, at the very least,
we stand that segment of time.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, but just think about all those fucking children. So there's 10 fucking kids, right? So at some point they had to find room for all of these children. And what they ended up doing actually was a lot of the kids lived in the attic. And I'm guessing that they had a big attic, not like the attic that I have, where you climb up a ladder and then there's just some little beams and everything, and then there's insulation everywhere, because that's the kind of attic that I've got. But I'm guessing they had a real finished attic and everything.
Yeah, an attic that's basically a room.
Yeah, and I see those in farmhouses and stuff on TikTok all the time. And for the time, being the 40s and everything, it makes sense that would have that kind of an attic. So I'm pretty sure that's the kind of attic that a bunch of the kids lived in. But at 10 p.m., Jenny told the children that they could stay up a little longer as long as the two eldest boys were still awake. So she was like, yeah, you can stay up as long as your brothers are up. And the eldest brothers are 14 and 9. So the 14-year-old, that kid's going to be up playing Fortnite all night. I'm just saying.
Yeah. He's doing his thing.
Exactly. He's gonna be 5 a.m. playing Fortnite. The parents are gonna finally be like, stop drinking Mountain Dew! Go to bed!
You better not have Cheeto crumbs up there!
This is them banging the ceiling with a broom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Bunk, 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 bunk.
Mom, I'm learning how to floss.
Older brother comes in there. Mom says it's my turn with the Xbox.
No, younger brother.
Oh, it's okay. I got it mixed up.
Yeah, older brother's the one that's already on the Xbox. Are you kidding? So 14-year-old Maurice and his 9-year-old brother Louis remembered to put the cows in and feed the chickens before going to bed for themselves, which by going to bed, they were sitting under the covers of their phones playing Call of Duty on the app. Their 1940s phone, you know.
Yeah, I think that was probably about this big.
Yeah, just about that size, yeah.
They were like dialing on like one of those old phones trying to like get like
a rotary phone.
Yeah. Just like calling girls, just being like, hey, you up?
She's just like, I answered the phone, George. No, wait, not George. Not George. Maurice. I answered the phone, Maurice.
Just, oh, okay, yeah,
Why
cool.
Are you calling me? Why are you calling me, Maurice?
I just wanted to know what you doing right now.
I'm laying in bed.
Ooh, without me, lol.
What?
What if I was with you? LOL.
We'd be laying in bed.
Yeah, and then what? Winky face.
Why are you saying these? Why are you saying winky face?
Because you can't see my face. That's how they definitely talked like that in the 40s.
Oh, absolutely. Only it was more like, hey, doll, what you got on? I went a little too Laszlo.
Yeah, that was weirdly kind of Laszlo.
That was way too Laszlo. I mean, honestly, like Matt Berry. Anyway.
He's so cute.
He's adorable. But oh god, I'm like in love with K-Van. So pretty. But anyway, so George and the two oldest boys, John, who is 23, and George Jr., who is 16, who had spent the day working with their father, were already asleep. And after reminding the children of those remaining chores, Jenny took Sylvia, who was 2, upstairs with her, and they went to bed. Now the telephone rang at 12:30 a.m., and Jenny woke up and went downstairs to answer it. The caller was a woman whose voice she didn't recognize, asking for a name she was not familiar with the sound of laughter and clinking in the background. Jenny told the caller she had reached the wrong number and later recalled the woman's weird laugh. Jenny hung up and went to return to bed. And I'm just imagining, like, you know, she's just, hello, where's Bradley?
Just like in the background, just clink.
Clinky clink. Oh, well, this is plastic. Where's Bradley? He's meant to join us for the orgy. It's our Christmas tradition. It's not Christmas until Santa comes.
Oh, God. Well, I gotta go, everyone. Good night.
Nope.
Oh, God. You said that. I'm gonna be in here for a minute. I'll be back.
Should I just keep going?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So as Jenny went to go back to bed, she noticed that the lights were still on and the curtains were not drawn. two things that the children normally attended to when they stayed up later than their parents. And with 10 fucking children, of course, she's like, I'm not going to make them all go to bed. Like, they outnumber us. Like, just do whatever you want. Make sure you turn off the lights.
Just please turn off the light. I don't care what else you do.
Just turn off the light and draw the curtains for the love of God. There's so many of you. You know that she's going, George, Lizzie, Frank, whoever you are.
She has never called one of those children by their proper name once in their lives.
They're not even sure who they are. They're pretty sure their name is George, Lucy, Frank.
Yeah, like George, Lucy, Frank, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. George, Lucy, Frank, fuck is their name.
Or like George, Lucy, Frank,
anyways,
goddammit.
Yeah, that too. And then whoever you are.
They all answer to that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, fuck, I'd answer to that for God's sakes. My Nana called me the fucking cat's name one time. I'm not even joking.
There was one time when my mom struggled for so long I think she was trying to get to my sister's name, and she went through all of us siblings, her boyfriend, one of our cousins, the dog, and then her.
Poor Chloe. Luckily, you only have 3 siblings. In one house, I had 4 siblings. So my mom, not joking, Olivia, Veronica, Riley, Clinton, Ivy, the dog, Dakota. Me just sitting there like,
am I a fucking joke to you, Rachel?
I am your firstborn, god damn it. They don't come out in chronological order. It's just a spew of different names until finally it's just sort of, then finally you land on the right one.
I'm still not over my dad straight up forgetting my full name.
Oh, your dad doesn't even know my name. He thinks my name is Heather.
You're not his offspring!
I know, but still.
He's known me for 25 years!
I guess.
Oh, God. And Heather is really more of a joke at this point, but Catherine was straight up genuine.
Catherine?
Yeah. Just, I walked out there and it was like the first time I'd seen him all day, and I was just like, oh, hello, father. And he went, oh, hello, Catherine.
No, he gave a name. He gave a name to your Victorian child persona. Like, we all have a Victorian child persona. My mom's, I haven't decided what her name is yet, because my mom's name is Rachel, and honestly, that sounds like a Victorian child already. Dear diary, I am writing this by the light of a candle in my window.
Oh my God. That was like, when you sent me that audio clip of you reading that, I literally laughed so hard at work that I was like crying a little bit.
Oh my God, it was me, my mom, and my little sister like sitting in my mom's storage unit, and we're going through stuff, right? Because my mom's like, I want to get rid of a bunch of shit in this storage unit. So we're going through every single box. And I found her diary from when she was about 10 years old, because it was like 1985, 1986. My mom was born in 75. So like, she's going to be like 10, 11 years old. And I'm fucking reading this thing and I am dying. Oh my God. It was the funniest fucking thing. My mom, I have to say though, I have tried to keep a diary many times throughout the years. My mom has more fucking resolve than I ever had when it came to keeping a diary, because like she's got diaries for years. And my mom, like, I found a bunch from when she was in her 20s and everything. So, you know, when she was like burdened with children, and I didn't read any of that shit because I was like, no, that's private shit for my mom. Like, I don't want to read her emo child writings. But if I ever decide I want to, like, I've got the key to her storage unit and I've got the code to get in and everything, so I can go do that whenever I want. But when she's 10 years old, that's fair fucking game.
Yeah, you don't exist in that time of life.
Game. I don't want to see her talking shit about how much she hates her kids, but I do want to see her talking shit about how much she hates her parents. That's hilarious. And I know what her parents were like. I love my grandparents dearly. My grandfather's chair is in my room. Like that chair right here that's covered in throw pillows right now. Normally it's closed. Right now it's throw pillows because I have a throw pillow addiction. But yeah, that chair. Oh my God, I love them so much. Anyways, so that was my grandfather's chair, and I have that. And my sister, I'm helping my sister move right now. She has our grandfather's hat. It's like a cowboy hat. It's way more her aesthetic than mine.
I've got like a bunch of old, like super 80s, like sweaters and jackets that were my grandma's.
That's awesome. And I've seen those.
Yeah, they go really great with overalls. It's a look.
You have that one sweater though that I like that looks like the rug from Aladdin. That's a cool sweater.
Yeah. That's why I kept it. I was just like, oh, magic carpet Disney bound. Done.
There you go. But anyways, so Marion had fallen asleep on the living room couch, so Jenny assumed that the other children who had stayed up later had gone back to sleep in the attic where they slept. So she closed the curtains, turned out the lights, and went to bed. But at 1 a.m., Jenny was again awakened by the sound of an object hitting the house's roof with a loud bang and then a rolling noise. After hearing nothing further, she went back to sleep, probably assuming that an owl just like flew into the like roof or something.
Just whoop.
Her just fucking owls. No, it was a shame bats full of shame. Many vampires who throw bad orgies are just shame bats. You can tell they fly lower than the other bats. They are shame bats. Bats full of shame. But after hearing nothing further, she went back to sleep, and after about another half hour, she woke up again, this time smelling smoke. Poor Jenny is just having the worst fucking night of her life.
Just God, I've got 10 fucking kids. Can I just go to sleep, please?
Seriously, I haven't slept in fucking 20 years. Just let me go to sleep. So she got up again and found that the room that George used for his office was on fire around the telephone line and the fuse box. And Jenny woke him up, and in turn, he woke up his older sons, who probably lived on the same floor as him and Jenny, because like they were like, all right, so we've got like more kids. We'll just put them in these rooms, like down the hall from us. And oh no, we have more kids. Let's throw a couple of them in the basement, and let's throw some more in the attic. That's fine. It's fine. We're all fine.
Dakota.
What?
Do you think when she realized what was going on, she was like, oh, 4! I mean 5! I mean fire!
I mean, not gonna lie, I do the same thing. 4! I mean 5! I mean fire! Seriously,
this over with the rest of the fire.
Yeah. Made in Britain. We should just do all accents as Richard Ayoade from now on. Like all English serial killers are now Richard Ayoade. I have decided.
Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice for Richard Ayoade. But it does. Okay,
it is the way.
I almost said something that would have seemed really mean to Richard Ayoade, but that's not how I meant it.
Okay, what did you almost say?
I almost said like, oh, but it'll make them seem like that. It'll be, like be that much easier to make fun of them.
Wow!
That's not how I meant it, though.
On this show.
That's not how I meant it. I just meant like it would be like because he's somebody who is so funny. It would be funnier to like. It would be easier to like not take them seriously because Richard Ayoade is funny.
We could also do Noel Fielding, just saying, because, you know, I'm not totally in love with Noel or anything like that.
Yeah, totally. Like, not at all.
Not at all.
It's not like
And
we're
so
just
much.
totally thirsty for everyone on the IT crowd.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would fuck Denim and I would fuck Jen as well.
Yeah.
I'd fuck literally everybody that's been on the IT crowd. I'd do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Roy.
Especially
Definitely Roy.
oh god, yes. Oh god, yes. What's that actor's name?
Chris O'Dowd.
Yes. Oh god, he's so cute.
He's so cute.
Anyway. And we liked him before he was in Bridesmaids to make a point.
I've never even seen Bridesmaids. I didn't even know he was in that.
Yeah, exactly. She hasn't seen a lot of things, but yeah, she didn't see. I honestly wish I hadn't seen Bridesmaids. That movie was fucking terrible. But anyway,
funny.
It's 99% of that comedy that I hate. That where it's embarrassing comedy, secondhand embarrassment. That movie is 99% secondhand embarrassment, and I want to rip my fucking eyes out.
Cool. Yeah, that does not good comedy make. Looking at you, Office.
Adam Sandler.
Ugh, fuck Adam Sandler. Don't fuck Adam Sandler, but to hell with Adam Sandler. There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, we have thoughts. But anyways, so both of the parents and 4 of the children, Marion, Sylvia, John, and George Jr., escaped the house, and they frantically yelled to the children upstairs, but heard no response, and they could not go up there as the stairway itself was already aflame. John, in his first police interview after the fire, that he went up to the attic to alert his siblings sleeping there, though he later changed his story to say that he had only called up there and did not actually see them. Efforts to find, aid, and rescue the children were unexpectedly complicated. The phone did not work, so Marion ran to a neighbor's to call the fire department. And a driver on the nearby road had also seen the flames and called from a nearby tavern, but they too were unsuccessful, either because they could not reach the operation or because the phone there turned out to be broken. Either way, the neighbor or the passing motorist were eventually successful in reaching the fire department from one phone in the center of town. George, barefoot, climbed the wall like fucking Spider-Man and broke open an attic window, cutting his arm in the process. But he and his sons had intended to use a ladder to the attic to rescue the children, but it was not in its usual resting spot against the side of the house and could not be found anywhere nearby. My only thought about the attic on the ladder on the side of the house is that the children were like so fucking crazy that they were just like, stop slamming the doors, use the ladder. Not gonna lie, as a child, I would have fucking loved that. Like, are you kidding me? I get to climb a fucking ladder to get into my room? This is awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But I mean, like, all the way up to the attic seems just like a lot.
But keep in mind that these are older house. This is an old house. Older houses are smaller.
That's true.
Yeah.
People weren't also, as tall back then. Those ceilings weren't as high.
My mom says that like my siblings and I were feral children because there was 5 of us living in one house at a point. You love that. You love that we were called feral children.
I love that so much. It's so funny. And I also, like, I've only known you for like 7 years, but I know that's accurate. Just what I know of you and your siblings, I know that's true.
It is true. We were feral. We just like ran the neighborhood and we'd come back whenever we felt like it.
Oh god, that's so fucking funny.
We outnumbered. It was like 5-2 us against adults. We outnumbered them like insanely, and we knew it. Like when it came to important shit, we were good, but when it came to like stupid superficial shit, we were just like, "This is our house." Please, my bedroom when I was a teenager had like I had like painted all the walls all weird and shit. Like I didn't ask for permission to do that. I just did it.
God, I wish I could relate to that.
I just fucking took acrylic paint and painted over the walls. And like Clinton is in that room now, and he's done the exact same fucking thing. No one gives a shit. I could paint the walls in this room and no one would care. I want to paint the walls in this room because it's green and I hate it, but I'm also lazy and I don't want to take everything off of the walls.
I get that. I really want to paint my walls because I like they've been this same like awful like butter yellow for like ever.
They're like yellow.
Yeah. And like I remember when we painted it this color, I think I was like 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was Chloe's room because it was Chloe's room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like we painted all of our rooms at the same time. We did like a huge remodel. It wasn't quite. I don't know what the hell you'd call it. We just redid all of the bedrooms basically, and it was just. I don't know, but like I remember, like we painted our bedroom blue, and I was like 6 or 7 and stupid, and I was like, oh, if it's gonna be sky blue, can we like paint like grass on the bottom and like flowers, because so it'll look like the backyard? Because I was dumb.
If you lived in my house, you could have painted the walls and nobody would have fucking cared. I had an Abby Hoffman quote painted to my walls for years. And I know you don't know who Abby Hoffman is, but some of our viewers might remember who Abby Hoffman was. Abby Hoffman, for the people who don't know, was a political activist in the 1960s. And I had this quote painted to my walls for years. Abby Hoffman, he was a social activist, and he was fantastic. Actually, oh no, wait, that was Timothy Leary. But I got really into like the 1960s and everything for a really long time, and like the political activism of the 1960s. And like honestly, I'm still into that because I still think that we need that sort of energy in this day and age. Are you good?
Oh, that hurt.
Are you okay?
Oh god, I just got like all of the carbonation in that one sip, and it was just like, oh, I'm okay, but that fucking hurt.
So the quote that I had written, that I had painted to my walls, was in the 1960s, apartheid was driven out of America. Legal segregation, Jim Crow, ended. We didn't end racism, but we ended legal segregation. We ended the idea that you could send 1 million soldiers 10,000 miles away to fight in a war that people do not support. We ended the idea that women are second-class citizens. Now, it doesn't matter who sits in the Oval Office, but the big battles that were won in that period of civil war and strife, you cannot reverse. We were young, we were reckless, arrogant, silly, headstrong, and we were right. I regret nothing. I had that quote painted on my wall in like 4 different places on my walls for years when I lived in that bedroom. And you know what? I have no regrets about that. Absolutely none.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to turn you on to more Timothy Leary and Abby Hoffman stuff. I think you would really connect. I actually figured out the meaning of life one time when I was high on cold medicine and I fell asleep listening to a Timothy Leary record. Yeah. So the record is called You Can Be Anything This Time Around, and it's basically Timothy Leary making the point. And Timothy Leary, by the way, is the guy who invented acid. Okay? He invented LSD by accident.
A hero.
A hero. We should do acid sometime, Kate.
That sounds like a really bad idea, but I'm into it.
It actually doesn't. It sounds like a really good idea. If my fucking 16-year-old brother can handle it, you and I can handle it.
You mean your 12-year-old brother?
Yeah, that one.
He's not allowed to be.
he's 18 now, but he was like 16 or 15 or whatever when he started doing acid. But we could fucking do it.
It's not allowed. He's not allowed to be that old. Tell him to stop.
Oh, I will let him know.
Thank
But
you.
anyways, so back to the 40s before acid was invented. Anyway.
God, can you imagine the people in the 40s on acid?
No, I can't.
Oh my God, that would be fucking wild.
Fuck me. Oh my God, we are so fucking late on tonight's episode. This is why I need to eat during the days so that I can keep the show on track. Fuck. I thought that was supposed to be your job.
I'm sorry, I was working at my paying job.
No, I mean, it was supposed to be your job that we keep the show on track. You've just been letting me go off on tangents for the past hour.
Well, I am getting sucked into it, okay? I thought you meant it was my job to make sure you eat during the day.
No. That's my job, and I just purposefully don't do that job because I'm not paid to do that. I'm gonna eat tomorrow. I promise that for a fact, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of work tomorrow.
Okay, well, bitch, you better eat tonight too.
I'm gonna. Anyways, so a barrel of water that could have been used to extinguish the fire had been frozen solid because it's Pennsylvania in December. So George then tried to pull both of the trucks that he used in his business up to the house and then use them to climb up to the attic window, but neither of them would start despite having worked perfectly fine the previous day. Frustrated, the 6 Sodders who had escaped had no choice but to watch the house burn down and collapse over the next 45 minutes. Assumed the other 5 children had perished in the blaze, and the fire department, low on manpower due to the war and relying on individual firefighters to call each other, did not respond until later that morning, despite the fact that the fire department was 2 miles away from that house. 2 miles!
They could have walked there.
Seriously, I've walked more than 2 miles in a day. What do you call fucking walking all over Disneyland? My fucking 26,000 steps. That's more than 2 miles. Disneyland. God, I fucking miss it. They're talking about reopening, and I'm like, I'm iffy, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'd go. It's
like, I miss it, but I understand, like, staying closed. Like, I don't want them to open prematurely. I know they want to reopen because they want to make $1 bazillion because they're greedy capitalists.
I mean, in one of our first shows together, you and I figured out how much money that Disneyland made in a day, and it was disgusting.
Yeah. I'm still angry about that. I don't even remember what the number was, but I'm angry about it. We need to finish our virtual Disney date. We never finished that.
We do need to finish that. Okay, so do you want to know?
Tell me.
So Disney, the company, makes $19.68 million a day. That's not Disneyland, but I think Disneyland was something like $2 million a day. Yeah. You know what? My season pass is still good, so I'm not even. When Disney reopens, I'm gonna go. When Disney reopens, I'm gonna go. I'm just putting that out there. Yeah, I'm gonna wear a mask and I'm gonna follow all the social distancing guidelines and all of that, but I'm still gonna go to fucking Disneyland.
You know what would be really nice?
What?
If they actually like enforce a lower capacity, so crowds will be a lot.
Actually, they are enforcing a lower capacity at Disney World, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna do that at Disneyland too.
Yeah, and like crowd control isn't usually, according to my sister anyway, crowd control isn't usually as much of an issue at Disney World anyway, just because it's a lot more spacious. But Disneyland is tiny. Disneyland is tiny and cramped. So, you know, if they actually pick that up here too, it's going to be so much nicer.
Oh my God, it's going to be so much better. I'm not
I
going to have
look
to worry
forward.
about weird old dudes' hands on my asses anymore, because that's definitely a thing I had to worry about at Disneyland. I cannot tell you the number of times I've been groped by some fucking old dude at like in line to Space Mountain. Like I can't fucking tell you the number.
Huh. Well, I can honestly say that has never happened to me, but I am sorry that that happened to you.
Space Mountain or Pirates of the Caribbean because it's dark in there. I had one dude grab my tit
Wow, fun.
with his family there.
Yikes. Mega yikes.
Yup. I'm not gonna miss that. Definitely not gonna miss that. Anyways, so it was like when you go left at Pirates and you go to that like back area to like circle around to go to the front. Yeah, it was back there.
Oof.
Yeah, just right on the boob. Just me. I was just like, sir.
Yikes. Yikes.
He bumped into me, sir.
Well, what do you expect when you're out there having boobs?
You can't tell on this live stream, but I've got boobs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're very comfy. Can't attest.
It's one of the reasons Kate dated me. Our first date was at Disneyland, for fuck's sake.
Fun stuff. Yes, true facts. That was a nice first date. That was my first date ever.
Yeah.
Super special.
Her first kiss ever, too.
Yep. Good times. Layla, close your eyes.
Take that, everyone else who has ever dated her.
But seriously, do you remember that? Layla, close your eyes.
Layla, close your eyes. How long has it been? 6 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Layla has got to be around like 13 years old now, and Layla, wherever you are, keep an open mind, kiddo.
Yeah, Layla, wherever you are, we're not sorry.
Yeah. And Layla, wherever you are, fuck you, dude. So anyways, the fire department had a really interesting reason for why it took them over 6 hours to get to the house that was on fire. Do you want to know what the fire chief had to say?
Do tell.
So the fire chief had to say that the slow response was hampered by his inability to drive the fire truck, and that he had to wait for another member of the fire department to show up who could drive the fire truck, which leads me to wonder, number one, is he the only person who's on call? And number two, he was drunk. That's my belief.
Yeah, bruh, just... Why are you drinking when you're supposed to be on call, you fuck?
He's sitting there going, Merry Christmas to me. Merry Christmas to me. Merry Christmas, dear fire department. Merry Christmas to Jesus. Not gonna lie, as a joke, one time me and all of my family, my nana has Alzheimer's, right? Or dementia, or one of the two. Both? I don't know. Anyways, so my nana has one of those. Anyways, so we one time at Christmas time started singing Happy Birthday. And so she started singing Happy Birthday, and then we go to Happy Birthday, dear Jesus. And you just like, I have a Snapchat video of this, and in the background you can hear her going, what? we bought bought a cake for dessert for Christmas dinner, and like she didn't know what was going on. Like, I feel bad. She didn't know what was going on. And we started singing happy birthday, and then we sang happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, and she's like getting all into it, and we're like, happy birthday, dear Jesus, and she's like, what?
That just reminds me.
She's Catholic. You would think that she would appreciate that, considering I don't know, agnostic or whatever the fuck a Satanist.
Spiritual.
I am. I'm whatever Dan Aykroyd is. That's what I am.
But that just reminds me, there was this one time, like a million years ago, like my brother and I were still in high school, and it was Polly's birthday, and his friend Gabe was over, and we were singing happy birthday to him, so we got to happy birthday, dear Polly, and then there was a pause, and his friend Gabe just goes, queer. And like, we still do that.
The fucking chief of the fire department's like, oh yeah, we didn't have anyone who could drive the truck because I was wasted. That's not what he said, but that's what I think. That is my personal belief, is that he was too drunk to fuck. Too drunk to drive a fire truck. For the record, Kate, Too Drunk to Fuck is it's a punk song.
Oh. I mean, technically drunk at all would be considered too drunk to fuck.
Accurate, but it's a Dead Kennedys song. I'll play it for you sometime. But yeah, it's a song. It's a reference to music. But anyway, so the firefighters, one of whom was a brother of Jenny's, couldn't really do anything but look at the flames and look through the ashes that were left in the Sodder's basement, because at 10 a.m. is when they fucking finally showed up. Like, Jenny called them 9 hours before, and they were like, "Oh, there was a cat stuck in a tree, so we had to go save it."
Jenny, just let us finish this drink first. We'll be right there, okay? Okay.
Jenny, we're on our way. Stop fucking pressuring me. I'm gonna tell Mom.
We'll be there when we get there.
Jenny's just like, Franco, where are you?
Oh my God.
House is on fire. Franco.
Jenny.
What?
Jenny. It's fine. We're on our way. Like, we're walking out
2 miles away. We're been 6 hours.
We're walking out the door right now. Fucking go away. All right, I'll finish my drink. We're out the door right now. I promise.
Are you at the club? Are you at the club right now?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm with the boys, and
I hear Kesha in the background. I hear Kesha.
Yeah, she's hanging out with us
at the fire department.
Yeah, she really likes firemen, you know?
Okay. So are you on your way?
Yeah, we'll bring Kesha so you can meet her.
Yeah, bring Kesha so I can get a selfie with her and post it on my MySpace.
Okay. All right. We'll see you in an hour. Bye.
No, wait, Franco. For the record, I don't know what his actual name was. For the record, we don't know what his actual name was, but I'm going with Franco because that's Italian sounding. Anyways, so by 10 a.m., The Sodders were told that there was no bones that were found, which might have been expected if the other children had been in the house as it burned. And according to another account, they did find a few bone fragments and internal organs, but chose not to tell the family, which why wouldn't you fucking tell them? They gotta know. But
Yeah,
it
like,
has also been noted it's also been noted by modern fire professionals that in their search that it was cursory at best. So what they probably found was like a burlap sack, and they were like, "Hey, you see that sack right there? See that? See it? The sack right there that's made out of burlap?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's a liver.
Oh, yeah, I see it. You know, it's like the same shape. I totally see it.
Yeah,
You know, it's like finding shapes in the cloud.
And you see that drumstick right there? That like wee drumstick?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a leg bone.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a leg, but like a chicken leg, you know.
It's got the same buttons as a leg bone does.
Yeah, if you push them in the right order, it restarts the body. We should do it.
Exactly. Oh, I don't know. I think it's gonna hurt him. So let's just leave him alone. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, it was believed that the 5 children had died in the fire, suggesting that it had been hot enough to burn their bodies completely. Now, Morris told George to leave the site undisturbed. So that's the name of the fire chief, F.J. Morris. Now, Morris told George to leave the site undisturbed so that the state fire marshal's office could conduct a more thorough investigation. However, after 4 days, George and his wife could not bear the site anymore, so he bulldozed 5 feet of dirt over the site with the intention of converting it into a memorial garden for the lost children. Bruh!
My dude!
This investigation on all counts is absolute bullshit. So a local coroner convened an inquest the next day, which held that the fire was an accident caused by faulty wiring. Which you would think they would just like turn around and sue the electrician that did the wiring like a month before, because they were like, "Oh yeah, we got this new stove. Remember, Kate?"
Oh yeah, that's right. We did talk about that, and like they were like, "Yeah, no, this is fine now."
Yeah, it's totally good. We're like super professional, so your stove is like A plus plus.
Oh my gosh, I've never gotten an A plus plus on my stove before. I've only ever gotten like,
right? But like your stove and all of your whole new rewiring is A plus plus. So that's what's going on with that right now.
oh my god, you guys are like so good. You're such good electricians.
So professional, right? We're like absolute professionals.
I'm so proud of you electricians. You're so good.
We're A plus plus electricians. That's why our name is A plus plus electricity.
Oh, I thought it was AT&T.
No, it's A plus plus. AT&T has a lawsuit against us, but they have the and sign before the plus plus.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So among the jurors in the trial, the subsequent trial, was the man who had threatened George that his house would be burned down and his children destroyed in retribution for his anti-Mussolini remarks. That guy's sitting there going, I think it was an accident.
Faulty wires happen all the time, huh?
It happens all the time. I don't see the problem. It was an accident. I don't like doing that. That feels xenophobic to me. I don't like that.
Huh?
I don't like doing that accent. It just feels xenophobic.
Yeah. I don't know. I won't disagree with you, but I don't know.
It just feels stereotypical and like crappy. Like, I don't know. That's just me, but like I don't like doing that accent. I don't want to do that one again.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I was just kind of doing like a Mario accent, but if you're not comfortable with it, that's fine.
Which is extremely stereotypical and slightly xenophobic, to be perfectly frank.
All right, fair enough.
So, anyways, so death certificates for the 5 children were issued December 30th, 6 days after the fire.
Wow, they really dug deep into that investigation to find those fucking bodies.
5 days, because it was like 1:30 in the morning that Jenny woke up. So like technically 5 days. But anyways, so the local newspaper.
Actually, technically it would be 4 days because it was like already Christmas. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was December 24th. They had like their fun and everything. And then technically it was 1:30 in the morning on December 25th. So then it was December 30th that the death certificates were issued.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was Christmas Eve. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. So the local newspaper contradicted itself, stating that the bodies had been found, but then later in the same story, reporting that only part of one body had been discovered. And George and Jenny were too grief-stricken to attend the funeral on January 2nd, although all of their surviving children did. I'm guessing one of the older children also took the youngest child, who was like 2, to the thing. I'm just saying.
Also, if you don't have bodies, is it really a funeral or is it just like a memorial service? I feel like there's a difference.
There's definitely a difference. So my sister's boyfriend is like prepping for a funeral right now. I've talked about this in the past. My sister's boyfriend's grandma went missing a little while ago.
Oh, yeah.
So the funeral is this Saturday, and I feel bad because like I'm gonna be working, and so I can't like go.
Mm-hmm.
But I never met her, so. But anyways, yeah, the whole thing is like gonna be happening at like my sister's, like where my sister's new house is, and then after the funeral, they're gonna like go hang out at my sister's new place, which she's still in the middle of moving into, and I'm just like, eesh, sucks for you.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. But not long after the Sodder family began to rebuild their lives, they started to question all of the official findings about the fire. They wondered why, if it had been caused by electrical problems, the family's Christmas lights had remained on throughout the fire's early stages when the power should have gone out. And then they found the ladder that had been missing from the side of the house on the night of the fire at the bottom of an embankment about 75 feet away, which, like, just imagine some dude setting the fire, but he's like walking away with the ladder and he's just like, don't be suspicious. 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 Yeets the like ladder.
Oof, my legs just started hurting like real bad.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's really weird. That like just hit like very abruptly, just suddenly. Pain.
Rip.
Jesus Christ.
They're like walking away, right? And they're just like literally they're like hiding they're hiding the ladder and they're just walking away. Wait, hang on. I got it. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don Ralphio? That's literally what happened. That is actually what happens.
Actual reenactment of what happened.
Yep. Yeah, that's what happened. So a telephone repairman had told the Sodders that the house's phone line had not been burned through in the fire as they had initially thought, but instead someone had cut it. Someone who had been willing and able to climb 14 feet up the pole and then reach away 2 feet to do so.
Unless it was just like a super, super tall man, super long boy.
It was Slender Man. Slender Man did all of the things. I'm going to have Slender Man nightmares tonight. That's a thing.
And that's your own goddamn fault.
I'm upset about this. Kate, do you want to talk about the Patreon with everyone for just a minute while I run really fast?
Sure. Yeah. Go.
All right. I'm going to run really fast. I'm going to remove myself. You're going to be on screen alone. You talk about stuff that we're going to be doing for Patreon and stuff that we're going to be doing. And I'm going to throw up a banner for how to find our Patreon. And you just do a quick ad real quick. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Okay. So on Patreon, we've got some stuff that we've already put up. It's our cryptid week stuff. So our really fantastically terrible cryptid erotica that we read as we slowly lose our minds, and then we have some other things that we're like planning on doing. We're hopefully gonna try to do more of the like letters to like writing letters to serial killers. So we're gonna do a little bit of work on that. And Dakota and Thea were also gonna do the thing where they are watching true crime inspired movies and like picking them apart, like showing like what they did well, what they did horribly, horribly wrong. I've got a feeling that the Iceman movie is going to be a real good one for Dakota to rip apart because she is still very mad about Michael Shannon. Yeah, if you want to like actually see that stuff, Dakota we were finally able to figure out how to actually change the URL for our Patreon. So it's I'm
very proud of myself for being able to figure that out.
Yeah, Dakota did that like yesterday, I think.
Last night at like fucking 2 a.m.
Yeah, so now it's actually like for the whole show. So it's patreon.com/ChardonHeyTC, as in true crime. In case you didn't know.
This is a true crime show, not just us bitching about fascism and other random shit getting drunk.
This is a very special week.
This is a very special week where we were trying to do something a little bit different, and then tonight we kind of failed, but at the same time I feel like it's still entertaining. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like this has been fun. I feel like this has been a fun episode.
But anyways, yeah, like Kate was saying, we have a lot of really cool stuff coming up on Patreon, so check it out down below, patreon.com/ChardonHeyTC.
3 A's, just like the show.
Basically, there was a man who the neighbors had seen who had been seen stealing a block tackle from the property around the time of the fire, and he was identified and arrested, but he admitted to the theft and claimed that he had been the one who cut the phone line, thinking it was a power line, but denied that he had anything to do with the fire. However, no record identifying the suspect exists. And why would he have wanted to cut any utility lines to the Sodder house while stealing the block and tackle? Like, that has literally never been explained why that even happened. So that's like a whole fucking thing right there.
What even does that mean? Block and tackle?
I have no idea.
Was he stealing a football player?
Let me look it up. A block and tackle. Oh, it's a pulley system from like a barn.
Oh. Why
For,
would
like,
you
lifting?
what
Because it's expensive? I don't know.
crimes
But
in the
Jenny
40s
said,
fucking weird.
Jenny would later say in 1968 that if he had got the power, she and her husband, along with the 4 other children, never would have made it out of the house. And Jenny also had trouble accepting the belief that all traces of the children's body had been completely burned in the fire. Now, many of the household appliances had been found still recognizable in the ash, among with fragments of the tin roof. Now, she constructed the results of the fire with a newspaper account of a similar house fire that she had read around the same time that had killed a family of 7, and skeletal remains of all victims were found in that case.
Yeah, because
Jenny,
the thing with like fire, like, and burning bodies, like it has to get to a very, very, very high temperature in order to actually like burn bone, because bone is just rock. Bone is just
oh no,
rock.
you're not wrong. I was literally just about to say that. To burn bone, the fire has to be at about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit for several hours to, like, so if you've got a family member who's been cremated, here's an interesting fact, and this is something that I learned in forensic science and something that I've learned in my own research and something that I've learned anyways, and something that's also been brought up in this case is that bone, to get down to the fine powder that you get when you get your loved one back in that little bag of like dust, basically. They've been what?
A little coffee canister.
Listen, not the whole world is like, the Big Lebowski, but anyways, yeah, pretty much. Anyways, so the bone, it has to be burned. Like the whole body has to be burned at over 2,000 degrees for several hours. Several hours. But the Sodder's truck's failure to start had also been considered. George believed that they had been tampered with, perhaps by the same man who stole the block and tackle and cut the phone line. However, one of his sons-in-law told the Charleston Gazette magazine in 2013 that he, ouch, had come to the belief that Sodder and his sons might have, in their haste to start the trucks, flooded the engines because these were manual trucks, not automatic.
Oh, like
now, some accounts.
Wait,
what?
Never mind. I don't even know what I was going to ask.
Okay. So some accounts have suggested the wrong number phone call to the Sodder house might have also been connected to the fire and disappearance of the children. However, investigators later located the woman who had made the call, and she confirmed that it had been a wrong number on her part. Oh, I swear, officer, I was just looking for Bradley to join the orgy. It's our Christmas orgy. We do it every year. I had no idea there was a fire in that very same house.
How were we to know? How could we have known?
How could we have known that there would be a fire which would kill many, many children? That's a very unfortunate circumstance. However, I was merely looking for Bradley, considering he's the only one who's not afraid to do certain things, if you know what I'm talking about, officer.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, officer, I'm talking about butt stuff.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, officer. He does things to my butts that no other man has ever done.
Like, fuck it.
The cop just... I'm gonna go. You're clear, madam. I'm gonna go.
I just want to make sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yep, yes, ma'am. I absolutely know what you're talking about.
All right, officer. So you are familiar with anal sex?
Yes. I mean, I've never. Ring, 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 ring. Hello. Oh yeah, I'm on my way. I gotta take this. I gotta take it.
Yeah, of course, officer. We'll continue this discussion about anal sex later.
Okie dokie. Yeah, you can just add me on like MySpace. Hello. What's that, Father Donahue of the Catholic Church?
I'll ask him if he's familiar with anal sex. Ask him how it was for him last time he tried it.
What?
Ask him how it was for him when he tried it last.
I'm gonna go. So fucked up. So fucked up. I could make so many fucking Catholic priest jokes right now, but I'm not gonna.
Oh no. That is precarious.
I have talked about fascism enough tonight. I do not need to get into Catholic jokes. However, as the spring approached, the Sodders, as they said they would, planted flowers in the soil that had been bulldozed over to the house, and Jenny tended to it carefully for the rest of her life. However, further developments in early 1946 reinforced the family's belief that the children that they were memorializing might, in fact, be somewhere alive. Evidence emerged which supported their belief that the fire had not started by an electrical fault, but instead had been set deliberately. The driver of a bus that passed through Fayetteville late Christmas Eve said that he had seen some people throwing balls of fire at the house.
He saw those, whatever you fucking call those people from Dragon Ball Z.
I don't know. I never watched that nonsense.
Me neither. I just know that they throw like fireballs and shit.
So does Zuko.
Oh, yeah. How did I not think of firebenders first?
Honestly, fucking Zuko.
That's so weird.
Come on.
That was a very weird break moment for me.
So a few months later, when the snow had melted, Sylvia found a small, hard, dark green rubber ball-like object in the brush nearby. George, recalling his wife's account of a loud thump on the roof before, said that it had looked like a pineapple bomb hand grenade or some incendiary device that had been used in combat. The family later claimed that, contrary to the fire marshal's conclusion, the fire had started on the roof, although there was no way to prove it. Now, other witnesses claimed to have seen the children themselves. One woman who had been watching the fire from the road said that she had seen some of them peering out of a passenger car while the house was burning down. And another woman at the rest stops between Fayetteville and Charleston said that she had served them breakfast the next morning and noted the presence of a car with Florida license plates in the rest stop's parking lot as well. Now, the Sodders hired a private investigator named C.C. Tinsley from the nearby town of Gowley Bridge to look at the case. Tinsley learned that the insurance salesman who had threatened them with a fire the year before over George's anti-Mussolini sentiments had been on the coroner's jury that had ruled the fire an accident and just to the Sodders. He also learned of the rumors around Fayetteville that despite his reports to the Sodders that no remains had been found in the ashes, Morris had found a heart, which he had later packed into a metal box and secretly buried. For a quick reminder, Morris is the fire chief.
He kept it for the Tin Man. He was expecting a visit.
No, what he did is actually, that is what is considered, as we know, a trophy. We cover these fairly often.
Oh, I definitely didn't put that together.
That's a trophy. Think about my favorite fucking person in the world, Gary fucking Ridgway.
Where are you at? I just want to talk.
Where are you at, Gary Bitchway? I just want to talk. I'll take out Gary Ridgway. I'll take him the fuck out. But
in every
Morris,
sense of the word, except like date wise.
No. Ew. Why would you put that out there?
I was clarifying.
Okay. Anyways, so Morris had apparently confessed to a local minister who confirmed to George that this fucking guy had found the heart and buried it. And George and Tinsley went to Morris and confronted him with this. And he agreed to show the two where he had buried the metal box and dug it up. They took what they had found inside of the box to a local funeral director, who, after examining it, told them that it was, in reality, fresh beef liver that had never been exposed to fire. Fucking Morris. This fucking guy. So anyways, fucking guy. So later, more rumors circulated around Fayetteville that Morris had afterwards admitted that the box with the liver had indeed not come originally from the fire, and he had supposedly placed it there in the hope that the Sodders would find it and be satisfied that the missing children had indeed died in the fire. Now, George did not wait for reports of sightings to come, and sometimes he made them himself. After seeing a girl in a magazine picture of young ballet dancers in New York City, he noticed that one looked like one of his missing daughters, Betty, and he drove all the way to the girl's school where his repeated demands to see the girl himself were refused. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty surprised that they refused that, considering it was the 1940s.
And yeah, right? Like, I'm genuinely surprised by that too.
Hello, I'm here to see Betty.
Betty whomst?
This girl in the magazine cover. Show her to me right now. Show me the girl in the magazine.
She's right there on your magazine cover, sir.
Show me the real girl. Show her to me at this exact moment, temptress. Show me this girl. This one right here. I have her picture.
And who are you to the girl?
She's my daughter.
What's your name?
My name is George Sodder. She is my daughter. I know this for a fact. Show me that girl right there.
I think we're going to have to ask you to leave campus.
This one right here. Show her to me, and I will collect her, because she is my daughter, has been missing for many years. She disappeared from my house in a fire, you see. Look, see the bow on her hair? It's absolutely the same.
So, sir, are you okay?
For the record, these pictures right here can be purchased on Depop.com, Depop the app, / Dakota's beard. I paint these all with my face, for the record.
You what?
I paint them with my face.
Oh, that thing. Cool.
Yeah. So I stick a paintbrush in my nose, and then I paint those pictures.
You never paint me pictures.
I'll paint you a picture.
Yay.
So anyway, George also tried to interest the FBI, which was fairly new at the time. For the record, FBI, fairly new concept at the time. And he actually even managed to get in touch with director J. Edgar Hoover.
That fuck.
Guy. That fucking guy. Now, a lot of
Fucking
people
guy.
like to say that J. Edgar Hoover was weird because he liked to wear women's clothes behind closed doors. Here's the thing. J. Edgar Hoover wasn't weird because he liked to wear women's clothes. He was weird already, and he liked to wear women's clothes, just saying.
Yeah, the two had nothing to do with each other.
Nothing to do with each other. They are not mutually exclusive. He was just a fucking asshole, and also he liked to wear women's clothing.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that guy.
We should do an episode about J. We should do a whole series about J. Edgar Hoover and what a fucking asshole that guy was.
Yeah,
But
fuck that
guy. J. Edgar Hoover had to say about the whole situation in letters that he personally wrote to George Sodder. Although I would like to be of service, the matter related appears to be of local character and does not come within the investigative jurisdiction of this bureau. Fuck you, Hoover. Fuck you and your vacuum.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you, fucking guy.
Fucking guy. So, if the locals' authorities had requested the Bureau's assistance, he added, of course he would come direct agents to assist, but the Fayetteville police and the fire departments declined to do so. I don't know why J. Edgar Hoover sounds so much like Richard Nixon, but I'm pretty sure they're the same person.
It's funny. I know it like Hoover just makes me think being like fuck you Hoover just makes me think of the song from Annie about Herbert Hoover. And so now I'm just like a giant fuck you Edgar Hoover. And it's I know that they aren't the same person. They really aren't connected in any way because they're very different. They're from two very different periods of time. But now that's going to be stuck in my head all night.
It's really not that different time. Herbert Hoover was president from 1929 to 1933. This is happening in the 1940s, so Herbert Hoover is still very much alive at this point.
Yeah, but he's like he's not like
Herbert Hoover died in 1964.
Yeah, but he's not president. Like he has absolutely nothing to do with any part of what J. Edgar Hoover is doing, like at all.
No. But the FBI, for the record, was founded in 1908. So I just want to put that out there. Yeah.
I didn't know it was that old. I thought it was a little younger than that.
No. The FBI was founded in 1908. It's just Hoover who like really brought in the I don't know how to put it. He got the attention? I don't really know. But anyways, so in 1949, George was able to persuade Oscar Hunter, a Washington, D.C. pathologist, to supervise a new search through the dirt at the house site. And although it was a very thorough search, artifacts included a dictionary that had belonged to the children and some coins, and there were some small bone fragments that were determined to have been human vertebrae. And the bone fragments were sent to Marshall T. Newman, a specialist in the Smithsonian Institution, and they were confirmed to be the lumbar vertebrae, all from the same one person. Now, that person was likely about 16 or 17 years old, and at most they were about 22, maybe about 22, because the spine generally fuses at about age 23, and this spine hadn't been fused yet.
Is it possible that like the fire may have like affected that? Like I'm not super familiar with the fusing of vertebrae.
So as far as I understand, no, but next time I go to my chiropractor, I will ask him.
Okay. Just, hey, this is for science. How does that work?
So
If
while
you
you're
burn
cracking my back and putting electrodes on my back and everything, do you mind if I ask you a couple science related questions about chiropractor stuff? Since you're a chiropractor and everything, I know you didn't actually go to like real medical school and everything, but do you think you can answer my questions?
I feel like they at least went to like back college, you know, like
They went to
spine
some sort
college.
of school. They went to some sort of school, but it is not medical school.
It was spine school.
It's why I don't really call chiropractors doctor so and so, because they actually haven't gone to medical school. I'm just saying. But anyways, so thus given the age range, it's not likely that those bones were from any of the 5 missing children, since the oldest, Maurice, had been 14 at the time. However, the report allowed that the vertebrae of a boy his age sometimes were advanced enough to appear to be at the lower end of the adult range, which honestly isn't adult chores and shit, you know?
Wait, you cut out on
Kids
my
had to
end. It's
grow
honestly
up
what?
fast in these ages. Oh, it's honestly not surprising that his back would appear to be older, considering he was doing like adult chores and shit at his age. Like,
oh yeah, and like
he was
you
doing
know,
stuff. Yeah,
it's like the type of work that they were doing, plus also like you know, growth spurts. Like I feel like you know, bodies
yeah,
like that kind of thing would you know, you have a growth spurt, and then like your spine does its fusing thing a little bit quicker because you've already finished growing.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I have songs from Annie stuck in my head now.
I was literally just humming it.
Was it the same one that I was humming?
I was humming Herbert Hoover.
Oh no, I was humming You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile.
Oh, I still know the choreography to that one. Oh no, I don't know that one.
Anyways, so it was agreed that it was very strange that those were the only bones that were found, since a wood fire of such short duration would have left full skeletons of all the children behind. And the report concluded that the vertebrae instead had most likely come from the dirt that George had bulldozed over the site. So he's probably just like digging up some fucking like Indian burial grounds or something. I'm just saying.
Probably.
Yeah. However, in 1949, the Smithsonian returned the bone fragments to George, and their current location is unknown. I'm hoping that George did the right thing and returned it to whatever tribe was nearby, because there is plenty nearby. I'm just saying.
Just, hey, sorry I stole your bones. I was looking for my dead kids.
The tribe just, oh fuck, did you find them?
Nope.
Well, thanks for our bones back. But anyway, in 1950, Governor Oakley L. Pattison, and the state superintendent W.E. Burchett told the Sodders that the case was hopeless and closed it at the state level. And the FBI decided that it had jurisdiction as a possible interstate kidnapping, but dropped the case after 2 years because there was fruitless leads. Oh, we don't know what's happening, and we can't solve this one. We don't want to do it. We don't want to do this anymore. Bye. So, with the end of official efforts to resolve the case, the Sodders did not give up hope. They had flyers printed with pictures of the children, offering $5,000, and then they doubled that to $10,000 for information that would have settled the case for even one of them. Now, in 1952, they put up a billboard. Yeah, they put up a whole ass billboard to find their children. Like, honestly, these people were trying really hard to find their children, and I feel like, honestly, like really bad for them, you know? And the billboard says, On Christmas Eve, 1945, our home was set afire and 5 of our children, ages 5 through 14, kidnapped. The officials deemed a defective wiring, although lights were still burning after the fire started. The official report stated that the children died in the fire. However, no bones were found in the residue, and there was no smell of burning flesh during or after the fire. What motive of law officers involved? What did they have to gain by making us suffer all these years of injustice? Why did they lie and force us to accept those lies? And then at the top of the thing, it says, after 30 years, it is not too late to investigate.
It's never too late.
No, it's really not. It's really not. I feel so bad for this family. And actually, I've got a picture of the billboard right here. So I'm going to share this really quick so that people can see that. I had to pull up a clearer picture. You're not going to be able to read the text very well, but this is the picture of the billboard that was on the side of the road in Fayetteville for a very long time.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? So, with the end of official efforts to resolve the case, the Sodders hadn't given up. They put up that billboard in 1952 at the site of the house, and another along U.S. Route 60 near Ansted with the same information, and it would later become a landmark for traffic through Fayetteville on U.S. Route 19, which is now Route 16. And the family's efforts were soon brought to another reported sighting of the children after the fire. A woman who ran a Charleston hotel claimed to have seen the children approximately a week afterwards. I do not remember the exact date, she said in a statement. The children had come in around midnight with 2 men and 2 women, all of whom appeared to be of an Italian extraction. When she attempted to speak with the children, one of the men looked at me in a hostile manner. He turned around and began talking rapidly in Italian. Immediately, the whole party stopped talking to me. She recalled that they left the hotel early the next morning, and investigators today do not, however, consider her story credible, as she has only ever seen photos of the children 2 years after the fire and 5 years before she came forward. So 10 years fucking later, she's like, oh, I've seen them kids. Them people with them were speaking Italian.
Yeah, that's pretty suspicious.
And like considering all those kids were like dark haired except for like one, yeah, it's a pretty safe bet to guess that they were Italian, especially considering the large Italian community at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in 1967, George went to the Houston area to investigate another tip, and a woman there had written to the family saying that Louis had revealed his true identity to her one night after having too much to drink. And she believed that he and Maurice were both living in Texas somewhere. However, George and his son-in-law, Grover Paxton, were unable to speak with her, and police there were able to help him find the 2 men that she had indicated, but they declined being the missing, or denied being the missing sons. And Paxton said years later that doubts about the denial had lingered in George's mind for the rest of his life. And although later, and another letter that they received later that year brought the Sodders this little gleam of hope. It's so sad. It's so fucking sad. Honestly, I feel so bad for this family. Like, because they get this letter and it's just like, hey, so we know who your son is, and he's like here, and you know, like he's an adult and everything, and here's a picture of what he looks like right now, which is like this, which is a really small photograph, and I'm sorry, but I can't get one that's any bigger than that. He just looks like a dark-haired dude.
He looks like
some Italian guy. What?
He looks like a guy from a boy band. Like, he looks like a guy from NSYNC.
Yeah, right? Seriously, like, it's just what he looks like. But the letter said, so that is the picture of who they believe to be Louis Sodder, that says, "I love brother Frankie, little boys," and then A90132 or 35. And that's literally what the back of that letter said. And it's just like,
Just what does that
but
mean?
family, yeah, exactly. But the family hired another private detective to go to Central City and look into this. But the private detective never reported back to the Sodder, and they were never able to locate him afterwards. And the picture nonetheless gave them hope. And they added it to the billboard leaving Central City, and they and other published information, or and they like published as much as they could, but they didn't try to do too much in case it would, cause Louis harm. But they put in, and the family put an enlargement of that photograph over their fireplace and had it until they like died. It's honestly the saddest fucking thing.
Yeah,
George,
that's real sad.
so sad. So George admitted to the Charleston Gazette Mail late the next year that the lack of information had been like hitting a rock wall. We can't go any further. But he nevertheless vowed to continue. Time is running out for us, he admitted in another interview around this time. But we only want to know if they did die in the fire. We want to be convinced. Otherwise, we want to know what happened to them. Unfortunately, George Sodder died in 1969. Jenny and her surviving children, except John, who never talked about the night of the fire except to say that the family should accept it and get on with their lives, continued to seek answers to their questions about the missing children's fate. After George's death, Jenny stayed putting up fences around it and adding additional rooms. And for the rest of her life, she wore black in mourning and tended the garden at the site of the former house. And after her death in 1989, the family finally took down the weathered, worn billboard. The surviving Sodder children, joined by their own children, continued to publicize the case and investigative leads. They, along with other Fayetteville residents, have theorized that the Sicilian mafia was trying to extort money from George, and the children may have been taken by someone who knew about the planned arson and said they would save it if they left the house. They were possibly taken back to Italy, and if the children had survived all those years and were aware that their parents and siblings had survived too, believes that they may have avoided contact in order to keep them from harm. As of 2015, Sylvia Sodder Paxton, the youngest in the family, is the only surviving Sodder sibling who was in the house on the night of the fire, which she says is her earliest memory. Now, just so you remember, Sylvia was 2 years old at this time. Now, I have memory. I was 2 years old, but it's nothing like concrete. I remember little things here and there, but nothing like super intense, you know? But she said, "I was the last one of the kids to leave home," she recalled to the Gazette Mail in 2013. She and her father talking about what might have happened. I experienced their grief for a long time. She still believes that and quietly assists with the efforts to find them and to publicize their case. Her daughter said in 2006, she promised my grandparents she wouldn't let the story die and that she would do everything she could. In the 21st century, these efforts.com, in addition to media coverage, the increase in latter had led to some who have examined the case and believe that the children did, in fact, die in 1945. George Bragg, a local author who wrote about the case in his 2012 book, West Virginia's Unsolved Murders, believes that John was telling the truth in his original account when he said that he tried to physically awaken his siblings before fleeing the house. He allows that that the conclusion may still not be correct. Logic tells you they probably did burn up in the fire, but you can't always go by logic. Stacey Horn, who did a segment for the case of NPR around its 60th anniversary in 2005, also believes that the children's death in the fire is the most plausible solution. In a post on her blog with material that she had cut from her story for Time, she noted that the fire had continued to smolder all night, even after the house had collapsed, and that 2 hours was not enough time to search the ash thoroughly. Even if it had been, the firefighters may not have known what to look for. However, she said, there is enough genuine day it is learned that the children did not die in the fire. I wouldn't be shocked. Now, I have to say, for Sylvia and for her, her family and all of that, that story isn't going anywhere. We are still talking about it to this day. It's been like over 60 something years. Like, the Sodder family may have been a long time, but this story isn't going away. It isn't.
It's
someday it'll be figured out, and like someday it'll be able to the ground. I mean, I hope that they do like DNA, like searches on the dirt around, or like bring some like fucking cadaver dogs or something,
Yeah, right? Seriously.
But that is the case of also how much Kate and I hate fascism and a lot of other random shit.
Yeah, this was a real special episode. It was real anti-fascism. This was a lot.
Tonight got away from us. Kate, you're not allowed to text me later and be like, I'm mad that we stayed on too late, because it's your job to rein me in.
That wasn't going to happen tonight. No, it just wasn't. And that's okay. But sadly, we do have to finish up now. Like,
Yep. We do. So if you enjoyed tonight's episode of everything that happened tonight, feel free to throw us a couple bucks on Venmo, venmo.com, or Venmo at Dakota's Beard is my Venmo. Kate's is at Kate Ulrich 42, and you can support our show at our brand new Patreon link, patreon.com/ChardonnayTC. And you can hear about all kinds of really interesting stuff on there. You can hear about all the crazy shit that we are planning for Patreon, and keep an eye out, because I'm going to be starting a new Patreon for myself personally in the future. But until next week, say goodnight, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Good night. And next week we are talking about Varg. Oh, fuck, what's his name? Varg Vikernes from the band Berzerum. So it's going to be a whole lot of like Norwegian names next week. So enjoy me fucking up Norwegian a lot.
Especially after drinking. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah. Also enjoy Kate getting to hear death metal for the first time, because we're going to play Berzerum and Mayhem for Kate on screen, and she's going to have to listen to it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've heard death metal before, but I don't know. I could be wrong. That may have just been normal metal, and I'm just soft.
You have never heard Berzerum and Mayhem, and it is going to be interesting. So I'm excited to do this to you, and excited for the audience to check it out. So we will see you next week. Don't forget to check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Chardonnay True Crime. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out everywhere, and keep an eye out for our merch, because that is coming. And we will see you next week. Say goodnight, Kate.
Good night, Kate. See you next Tuesday. Ha ha.
Yeah. Good night, and yeah, cunt. See you next week.